Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Sarah Labrat and today's video is the second part of me rereading draft 2 before I start the rewrite to make draft 2 into draft 3. A couple weeks ago I did post a vlog about the beginning of this reread, and today's video was actually supposed to be the rest of the reread, but the video was too long so I ended up splitting it up into 2 parts. So without further ado, let's get into this video about rereading draft 2 before it becomes draft 3, and this is part 2 of 3. Alright, today is September 1st. It is 11:43 p.m. on September 1st. I wrote/dealt with 302 words today. You're probably thinking, that's not the 1,349 words or whatever that I need in a day. You're right, it's not. And that's okay. Tuesdays are always really busy for me. As you can tell, I'm like doing things on my computer right now with my fingers moving. After work, I filmed a YouTube video, which was great, but then I was on a series of phone calls for like 2.5 hours, and then I did a little bit of video editing while I was watching someone's live stream, and then typed up the notes that I wrote at work. And that is literally my day, and now I have to go to bed. So that is okay. This is a year-long challenge. This is not something that I need to worry about like NaNoWriMo, where it's like if I miss a day, it's a really big deal. Again, we are going for progress, not perfection. Kind of feels like a lot saying that on the first day. It's probably not a great sign. However, I will have plenty of time later this week to work on some of this stuff. So, 302 words. For today, I worked on DE. I did a little bit of rereading, as in, I did like a page before work because I actually got up like before I needed to for work, which is kind of great. So I was able to spend 10 minutes on that and do a page. It was great. And then I was able to write in my side project CBH for about 30 minutes, which was really nice. Progress is progress. As far as I don't fall like wildly behind, but even if I do, anything that I get done this year will be incredible. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Today is September 4th. I'm currently in Minnesota. I flew into Minnesota yesterday. You might be wondering why today is September 4th, because I did not film on September 2nd or 3rd. And then today is September 4th. Like I said, I got into Minnesota yesterday. Basically just ran some errands with my mom today, and now I'm about to go play pickleball. And it's like 6 p.m. and I have not done any rereading yet today. Like I haven't done anything for the past 2 days, but I did just finish editing the video for the part 1 of this, aka like the first like 109 pages of rereading, which basically just reminded me that I need to do some rereading today. Ideally, I will do some after we play pickleball, but I'll just keep you guys updated. I totally said that I was going to work on rereading today, and I did not. So I will see you guys tomorrow to hopefully do some rereading. Hey. On September 5th, I worked on rereading for 1 hour and 5 minutes. I did pages 112 to 117, which was 6 pages, and I added 345 words. I'm starting September 6th on page 118. Alright, another change of scenery, but today is still September 6th. I am now in Utah. I'm in Utah for a few days to go hiking, and then I'll go back up to Minnesota for a few more days and then back down to Texas. So, there has been a little bit of traveling going on, but today I was super grateful for that flight because I spent 2 hours and 25 minutes on the reread, and I did 11 pages, which is less than I thought it was gonna be because I felt like I was reading faster today or something, but apparently not, because in the 2 hours and 25 minutes that it took me to read 11 pages today, in past days I've been able to read about 15 pages in that same amount of time. So apparently I was not reading as fast as I thought I was. I added 208 words to the document itself, and then in notes that I was leaving for myself in that category, I added 728 words, and then in video scripting I ended up writing 406 words just because I was on the plane and couldn't film, and so I wanted to jot down my ideas while while they were fresh in my head. And when I script my videos, I have a loose outline of what I want to say, or basically what I want to make sure that I don't forget to mention in a video. But I did decide that I make notes like that for myself frequently enough that I should add that to my spreadsheet, which has gotten a little bit of a revamp and now has considerably more columns than my previous word count tracker that I made a whole video about. But going back to today really quick, which is still September 6th, I have written a total of 2,063 words this month. That is not even 2 days of half Milwordy, or like what I need to work with for 2 days of half Milwordy. I'm on day 6. So today was the closest day that I've come to that. I did 1,338 words total, which is really good, and like I'm very happy with that. Obviously I'm also on vacation, and so I'm trying to be nice to myself, but this is also a great time for me to work on the reread because the air quality is not great outside, even though we came out here to go hiking because Utah is right next to California and California is having fires. So I might have a lot of time to work on this stuff while I'm in Utah. Most of the notes that I found myself making today were about lore and world building, and that I need to like integrate a couple of the chapters better with one another. Like I need to cut them up, make them shorter or something, just so that the flow works better. But that's going to be more of a problem for rewriting Sarah and not current rereading Sarah. And basically just making notes on how various sections need to be improved. And with all of this talk about rereading and reading in general, I'm currently reading Which is a Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I'm still working on it because reading slump, fun stuff. All right. Anyways, I've been talking for way too freaking long. Let's get on to tomorrow. How do we get the wikis on now? My eyes are super irritated because the air quality is really bad from the fires in California right now. Anyways, I filmed the video today where I tried swapping out Netflix for reading, and that went well. It was interesting though because I didn't have as much downtime as I thought I was going to today. However, I did spend that time working on rereading and rereading my Project DE, and that was nice. However, it was not as much time as I was expecting to have today, which is totally understandable. I'm on vacation, but it is what it is. However, I did film that, and I edited pages 129 and 130. That's right, I did 2 pages of rereading today, but that is okay. Progress is progress. It was 75 degrees yesterday, but it snowed last night. Because there's blowing snow outside, my parents just want to binge watch Designated Survivor today, and I'm excited, but I also want to do some rereading. I've kind of lost track of the days, but today is September 8th, meaning that we are now 8 days into Milwordy, and I'm still not done with this reread, aka, well, half Milwordy, because I'm only doing 500,000 only. Yikes. Okay, anyways, it's time to go to breakfast. Was having some issues with the Wi-Fi earlier today. That was kind of freaky because in the couple of days that we've been out here, I have not been able to get onto the Wi-Fi. Thankfully that was fixed, which is great because I am live streaming with Adele Marie tomorrow and I'm very excited about that, but I was getting nervous. But that has been fixed. I did some YouTube editing. We watched some episodes of Designated Survivor, and now it's time to go to dinner. Today is September 9th, and we are about to start the live stream with Adele Marie.
Well, the Twitch streamer, and Sarah, the secret Minecraft. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Actually.
Really?
Now that I think about it, it does sound very like, it sounds like the name of a famous person. Like Sarah LeBron. It just kind of flows off the tongue.
Listen, I'll take it. Like, thank you.
We're catching Adele in the middle of vlogging.
Funny. Yep, 2 Sarahs. Yeah, there's just a lot of me sometimes. It's okay.
Yeah, it happens.
That's a concept.
Just finished the stream with Adele. She said that that was her first time ever streaming with someone else, and so that was really, really cool. But now it is time to go for a hike. We ended up doing a 3.4-ish mile hike. It's like 46 degrees outside. My cheeks are cold, and so are my ears. That's why I made my little hair hat thing where I tied it in the front. But we ended up doing a 3.4 mile hike that was very intense. We had to do a lot of uphill climbing and a lot of downhill descending, but that was really fun. And now we're gonna go downtown and then go to dinner.
This ain't bad.
Today is September 9th. I worked for 40 minutes and I worked on pages 131, 132, and 133. So 3 pages today, and I added 24 words into the document and 197 words in notes. And because I'm now on page 134 starting tomorrow, I have 91 more pages until the end. It's September 9th. I was hoping to finish this, well, before September, and then I extended that to September 7th. And so again, we're gonna extend it. I'm thinking another week is, don't check my math on this, but like 11 or 12 pages a day. That's not right. 91 divided by 7, 13 pages a day. That's doable. If I did it in 10 days, that would be 9 pages a day, and I think that's a little bit more reasonable considering that I am still on vacation for a few more days. But that's kind of my goal. Within the next 7 or 10 days, finish the reread so I can start the rewrite, because for half Milwordy, I still need to write a total of like 41,666 words this month or something. Today, before we went to dinner, we did go to a sunglass shop, and the salesman was handing me a couple to try on. And he gave me one pair and was like, this is the perfect pair to wear to the Sundance Festival after you star in a film. And I was like, a good salesman, man. That's a good salesman and like a great pitch. But immediately what went through my head is that if I'm at the Sundance Festival, it's because one of my books got turned into a movie that's going to be played at the Sundance Festival, which would be such a dream. I did make a whole video about my author goals and dreams, and this was like not on there, but I suppose it's kind of a subcategory of having one of my books turned into a movie would be to have it at a festival of some kind or be able to go to a red carpet event for that. That would be so freaking cool. Anyways, it is 11:16. We are leaving Utah tomorrow, so I will have plenty of time to work on rereading on the plane and or reading The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Today is September 20th. I am on page 140 of the reread out of 225, meaning that there are 85 more pages, and considering that I have 11 more days until the end of September, my goal is to finish the reread by the end of September, which I think is going to be just fine because I just did the math and it's 7.72 pages a day in order for me to finish this out, and honestly that doesn't seem that bad. It's way better than like my last video on rereading where I was trying to get 30 pages a day. That was not happening. My original goal was to finish this before September started because I'm doing Milwordy or half Milwordy. I'm trying to write or deal with 500,000 words in this year from September 1st of 2020 to August 31st of 2021. And I was getting really down on myself just because I was spending so much time on the reread. But then in an effort to be nicer to myself, I reevaluated my goals and how I was going to be tracking my words and ended up adding a column for rereading so that I was not so behind on Milwordy, just because the reread is highly time intensive and there's no way that I could be getting these words in if I was not including the reread words. So this is me reaffirming that I am going to be finishing the reread of draft 2 of my Project DE before October starts. I'm going to be on a live stream with Autumn Ashley starting here very, very shortly. However, I did not want to go to the grocery store today, so for dinner I'm making banana bread.
So, but they're really good up vegan cookies.
Nice.
Priorities.
Totally.
So I will try to contain myself, but if I need to, Sarah, you can slap me through the screen and say, let's keep moving.
The live stream has started. We just started sprint number 1. I set a timer. I was very careful that I made sure that I set a timer so that I do not overcook my banana bread, because I could not find my bread pan thing, like my loaf pan. That's what it's called, a loaf pan. And so I ended up making muffins, which will be absolutely delicious, but now the time is going to be way off. So those are in the oven. I'm going to make sure that I check on them, but we started the first sprint. I need to get 8 pages done on the reread of notes and rereading today so that I am on track to finish by the end of September. So let's start it. So I thought I was on page 140 out of 225, and I'm actually on page 145 out of 226. So technically I'm 4 pages ahead of where I thought I was. They're smelling very done, so I hope I'm not too late. Oh, they look so pretty. Okay, maybe a little overdone. I don't know if you can see that steam, but these look so good. It was dark, so I decided to turn on my lights.
Awesome. Sorry, don't mind me vlogging in the background. My bad. Okay. My lights, that's what I was filming, because I have string lights that go around this wall. And so now it's getting moody and really writerly and stuff in here. I love it.
The stream with Autumn went super well. I ended up doing a total of 6 pages of rereading, page 145 to 150, in an hour and 15 minutes of rereading sprints. Today is September 21st, and we are starting on page 151 today. I'm getting closer. I'm now 60 pages away from my goal. I worked on the reread today for 30 minutes at lunch and then an hour after work, so total of an hour and a half to total 7 pages. And then I just filmed a YouTube video all about the various projects that I have in my pipeline right now. September 21st, I ended up spending 1 hour and 30 minutes on the reread. I worked on pages 151 to 157. I added 140 words to the document, and then my editing notes totaled up to be 291 words, and then I did 320 words of YouTube scripting, basically just jotting down ideas for a video that I'm going to be shooting in a few weeks, because my next 2 weeks are pretty booked with videos, but I'm really excited about a video coming up in a few weeks, and so I wanted to make sure that I don't forget my ideas for that. But that brings me to a total of 751 words added for the day, not including rereading words, which I will go back and add as soon as I am done with the reread. This seems to be my lunchtime routine, where I either pack a lunch, I have these muffins that I made a few days ago, an apple and a banana today, or I go out and grab lunch and then eat it in my car, and I bring my computer so I can watch some YouTube and or work on writing. I'm going to be doing both today. And then I sit in my car, and today it's drizzling a little bit, so it's very atmospheric. Today is September 22nd. Guess what? I did not end up rereading today, and that is totally okay. Today was very taxing on me, and so I am very okay with the fact that I did not do any creative work. I did buy a microphone, which I'm very excited about, but I'm sure I will cover that when it gets here and I get to start using it for its purposes. But even though I did not get my 7 or 8 pages of rereading done today, I'm going to say that it was an absolute success, because I found a way to bring some of my writing to work to fill extra time that I might have, because I've had some extra time the past couple of days. And so if I have any extra time and or on my lunch breaks, I will be able to work on the reread. And so even though I didn't do any today, I'm sure I will do some over the next couple of days. For September 23rd, I'm starting on page 158 at 106,135 words. Flattery is always a good idea. I now have 61 more pages left to go before I finish this reread. I'm going to stop at doing 8 pages today, which is September 23rd, which is really freaking good, I think. I worked on it for about 35 minutes during lunch and then an hour after work. So a total of an hour and 35 minutes, and doing 8 pages of rereading and taking extensive notes and flattering my future self. in an hour and 35 minutes, I think is really good. I'm also leaving off at a really good point because the scene that I'm going to be working on tomorrow in the reread goes relatively quickly, and I honestly don't think it's going to need that many changes. Probably like a couple smaller things, but overall there's not going to be like any like developmental changes that need to happen to it. So that should go by pretty quickly. So hopefully I can get another somewhere between 5 and 8, possibly 10 pages done tomorrow. Oh, but I'm also doing a live stream with Brooke, so we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Could you imagine having one type of cover in the adult section and one type in the YA section? How weird is that?
I mean, do you think they would have to like get a wider audience?
It would probably say on their website.
I feel like I'm starting to make really good progress. It is now 8:15 on September 25th, and I'm starting on page 175. Well, today is September 25th. That means I forgot to film yesterday. So just gonna really quick catch y'all up on what happened yesterday. I was basically very busy and so didn't get around to filming. On September 24th, I had a live stream with Brooke Wrights because Sarah J. Maas's new book cover was released, and we had a live stream talking about it and our feelings about it, which were a lot. Anyways, after that, I had a friend of mine come over, and so never ended up filming for yesterday, but I did get like 9 pages done. Pages 166 to 174 of the reread, which is 9 pages, which was really good. And I did that in 2 hours and 35 minutes. And in doing that, I added 1 word to the draft, and I added 1,180 words to the edits that I made while rereading. And then while I was rereading, I was jotting down notes of things I wanted to mention because I knew I was going to be busy. And so for YouTube scripting, I got 126 words. I'm kind of starting to feel like this draft, or this reread of draft 2, is kind of like a draft 3 because of how much work I'm putting into it. I'm still going through and making changes, but they're like small spelling errors. If I'm like missing a word, or if I have like, I don't know, small fixes. But I feel like because of the amount of time that I'm putting into this, it almost deserves its own like draft number. So I might have to like call this draft 2.5 because like it's halfway between 2 and 3. It's not quite 3 because I have it very ingrained in my head. The draft 3 is going to be the rewrite from draft 2, which means we have to go somewhere in the middle there. And so I'm thinking draft 2.5 is this reread process. On September 23rd, which was the day before yesterday, I know I said something about how I thought that yesterday's rereading was going to be pretty easy because I thought the chapter was really good. And it was. The chapter was good. The rereading was not. I made a ton of notes, as you can tell from the 1,180 words added in my editing notes. But that's why I was able to add so many editing notes, is because for the reread, I will want to fix smaller issues than some of the other portions of the book require. And the smaller issues just have more notes per page, and that's just like the nature of it. But a good sign, it's very solidly there, but now I get to work on like wordsmithing and making everything beautiful and just fantastic in this section. I have noticed that I need to add a lot more lore to the world building. Like earlier on, I have plenty of stuff in the last half, which is what I'm currently in, but like in the first half, I really need to put more foreshadowing stuff and more lore in the first half so that stuff in the second half of the book actually makes sense, which is definitely going into my notes for the rewrite. Basically, preparing for this rewrite is just giving me a lot of opportunities to add poetry and lore and oral history, like I always thought the book would have, but it just was not ready for those finer details yet. I think that this rewrite is really going to allow things in my story to come to life with more detail and just a lot of foreshadowing. It needs a lot more foreshadowing for the stuff that happens in the second half. But then that sort of brings us to today, which is September 25th. A lot of the rereading that I did yesterday was done in Google Docs, where normally I do all of my editing and writing in Word documents. So today I ended up transferring over the 9 pages of edits that I did yesterday into my actual Word document today. And so that took a solid chunk of time because the 9 pages yesterday took me 2 hours and 35 minutes to do, and then it took me like a solid 45 minutes just to transfer all of those comments and notes over into my Word document today. And it's now 11:10, and so I really don't want to do any more rereading tonight, but I did do pages 175 to 177, meaning that I did 3 pages today. I did like 66 words in editing notes, and about 18 words added to the draft itself. No, that might not seem like a lot, but now I am on page 177 of 226. But that sets me up to be starting on page 178 tomorrow of 226, meaning that I am less than 50 pages away from finishing this, which is, you know, good because I have 5 days left until this goal, but that's 10 pages a day or less than 10 pages a day. But like, more often than not 10 pages a day through September 30th, and then I will be in October and potentially starting the rewrite. Well, not potentially. I will be starting the rewrite for my Project DE on October 1st, which is crazy. And I think it's gonna go pretty well because this weekend, aka tomorrow, Saturday, and the next day, Sunday, I am going to be attempting time blocking my weekend and just seeing like what gets done through giving it that kind of structure, which is going to be very interesting. That's a collab with Brooke. And as a part of that, I am streaming with Brooke tomorrow and then just streaming with RP on Sunday. I'm going to be sitting down at my computer for these streams anyways, and so I have to be working on something during them, and so that something will be working on this reread. And so I'm gonna finish this within the next 5 days, which is amazing because I have had to bump my deadline a few times, but now the end is actually in sight. So the stats for September 1st to September 25th, aka the majority of month 1 of Milwordy, is in drafting words and editing words. I wrote 9,868, and you're probably thinking that's not enough for the half Milwordy that I'm doing, which has monthly requirements of 41,667 words, but partway through September, because I realized that this was not possible because I was still rereading and had not yet started to rewrite into draft 3, I decided to count rereading words because it was not worth rushing. It's a very, very crucial step in the process. And so I ended up deciding to count the words that I was rereading because this whole process did take me so long. So from pages 108 to 180, which are the pages that I read between September 1st and September 25th, those 72 pages contained 34,927 words, which I'm counting towards my goal, which means that for the month of September, month 1 of Milwordy, I got a total of 44,795 words. So we are on track and even a little bit ahead of schedule. All right, that's it for me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Sarah Labrat. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up because it really supports my channel by telling the YouTube algorithm that you liked my video and that someone else might too. If you are not already subscribed, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button and that little notification bell next to it so that you get notified when I upload a brand new video, which includes this upcoming Thursday, October 8th, where part 3 of me finishing this reread of draft 2 will be going up. As always, I post videos twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays and do live streams on most weekends, is I think how I'm gonna say it. And so I will see you guys next time with another video. Bye!